Okay, so the Bay Area is a pretty vast space, right? It's not just San Francisco. San Francisco is obviously like the heart of the Bay Area where all the big tech companies are, but you can't really neglect, for example, in the north, you got like Wine County. To the right, you got Oakland, which is pretty freaky. Fremont, aka Tesla plant, and also some other factories here and there, but I heard it's getting pretty bad too. San Jose is basically a ghost town, no one's there. Cupertino, Apple HQ. You got this strip, which is like the pretty good part of San Francisco, like where Stanford is, Oracle, Microsoft, Google. And then, of course, you also got like this area of San Francisco, which is, I have no clue what this is like, but I heard the houses here are a little bit more affordable. But you get the idea. The Bay Area is pretty vast, but one thing's for certain, the Bay Area in the whole entire United States probably has some of the craziest hotel foreclosures. Now, if you come to my city, I won't name which one, has a population of a little over about 300,000 people. We are building hotels like crazy. We're building hotels nonstop, and every single hotel here is always booked. We also have a lot of really cool yearly events, which attracts tourism. So our hotel industry is really good. But what about the Bay Area? In fact, the Bay Area's hotel situation is so bad. And you could also kind of say that San Francisco and the rest of the areas are having a hotel apocalypse at this point. And it's not just the hotel boys, but the Airbnb boys as well. With San Francisco, for example, announcing most of their hotels, most of their apartments, most of the Airbnbs and Verbos can't be rented out. I mean, the Airbnb guys are saying out of 30 nights, they could only rent out like 2 to 3 nights at this point. And even some really high-end ones, like these, for example, where it's like very nice, high-rise, like come on, really $550 a night? I don't think anybody will be renting that. But then again, it is 4 beds, but here's the thing, it's not really about the price anymore. It's more like nobody's coming for San Francisco. And if you also look at several of these rooms, it used to be like out of 30 nights, you could rent out 27 nights. But now a lot of these buildings and apartments are slowly going towards the foreclosure section. And it's not just that, but even like Napa, Sonoma counties are facing pretty fat foreclosures. Like, for example, this hotel right here, it's like your average Joe hotel, $180, 3-star hotel, pretty decent. It's closing. Okay, and the chances of foreclosure is being higher every single day. Two wine country hotels with a combined 220 rooms are at risk of being sold in foreclosure early next month. And they need to cover at least $80 million in financing. Now, it's not just these hotels, but what they're saying is in the Bay Area, there could be around 30 hotels that could be facing foreclosure in the next 2 to 3 months, with the most notable one being Park 55. This hotel is actually pretty dope. It's in the heart of San Francisco. Now, before the pandemic, this hotel was like the OG, right? Like if you went to San Francisco, it's very iconic. It has a pretty iconic exterior. It's basically this one. I know it looks kind of cookie cutter and very basic, but this is actually a pretty high-end hotel. You got a little bit of the Hilton vibe, and of course, all the big VCs, all the San Francisco tech boys, they all like to stay in this hotel because you're in the middle of the action, right? Walk a little over there, you got like a Civic Center and also XHQ, and walk a little that way, you got like downtown and Salesforce. And they're very close, like shopping, restaurants, all this good stuff. And they recently just closed this hotel. In fact, it's 2 hotels by Park 55, combined room space of 3,000 rooms. They're completely done. They can't make any more money. And they essentially say street conditions are so bad, there's no tourism. For example, back in 2019, just Chinese tourists alone that came to San Francisco, it was 500,000 people that spent $1.2 billion on San Francisco City alone, not even accounting for the surrounding areas. So that was like super wealthy. I mean, imagine making that much just from tourism. What about now? In fact, San Francisco is at the bottom of the list for Chinese tourists right now. In fact, a lot of the Chinese tourists, for example, much rather go to Manhattan, Miami, and Los Angeles. They pretty much say San Francisco is probably the most disgusting place on earth, and I don't blame them. And if you also look at, for example, like a lot of the tourists from the Middle East, a lot of tourists from, like Australia, Europe, they tend to not go to San Francisco. In fact, you'll barely see any international tourism in San Francisco anymore, which is actually causing a massive hotel crisis with so many of these hotels and Airbnbs all going towards the foreclosure route. Now, some of the hotels have a little bit more business than others, but they pretty much are willing to give the hotels back to the lender simply because the building itself isn't even worth what they paid for. Like the mortgage or debt that they have for the hotel is worth 2 to 3 times more than their building's value. So why even sink money into that pit at that point? So a lot of these Sonoma hotels, even the Napa hotels, and obviously the Oakland hotels are slowly becoming more and more worthless every single day. With nobody really traveling to these places, and with the Bay Area getting such a bad rap, you might see a lot of people just saying "ew" when you say like you're going to the Bay Area or San Francisco. But the moment you say Miami, everyone gives you a big round of applause. Pretty much shows you that San Francisco Bay Area is not that great. Like I said before, Park Hotels and Resorts pretty much abandoned San Francisco, blames the city for a clouded future. Let me tell you what they mean by a clouded future. They don't know when San Francisco will get its, personality back. San Francisco right now, basically, you have a lot of shoplifting, a lot of crime, but the city just doesn't really do anything. So they're abandoning it. They say it's very cloudy. The future, they don't really know what's going on. But let's say San Francisco starts cleaning up. They start making the streets clean and promoting businesses to come back and these tech companies to come back. I guarantee you these hotel chains will probably not go towards a foreclosure route. The reason why they go towards a foreclosure route and the reason why Whole Foods, Old Navy, Nordstrom are leaving is because they don't know what's going to happen in the next 5 years. And chances are the next 5 years, it's probably going to get worse because the laws in the Bay Area and basically California, it's so lax, right? And this is why you got so much crime. Bay Area states sees steep decline in new hotels in 2023. And if you also check out this, there's barely any new hotel construction in San Francisco and the rest of the Bay Area. Because why would you buy land and build expensive hotels when you could get cheaper hotels when they're in the foreclosure sector? And construction is down like more than 50% in the Bay Area. With some of the biggest projects, like if you see this lot right here, this giant brown lot, this is supposed to be a tower, like a 47-story skyscraper with condos, apartments, and offices. Recently got halted by the developer themselves. I don't think they want to build anything when San Francisco is like this screwed up at this point. And if you also look around, like what's going on with the retailers, they're closing down. Target closes, Office Depot closes, Walgreens closes, CVS closes. It's just getting worse and worse every single day. I mean, this is not a place to raise a family. It's not a place to work. In fact, it's so bad. Even the federal building in San Francisco is saying, hey guys, don't even come back. Please just work online. And people are actually very happy when their company moves online. They don't miss San Francisco because of the amount of crap they got to put up with. Now, the most stressful guys in San Francisco are going to be like these smaller hotel chains, landlords, property owners, small business owners. These are the ones seeing the value of their estates and assets going down by double-digit percentages. These hotels that if they go to foreclosure route, I highly doubt anyone even want that. So it's a big headache, not just for the people who own this hotel, but also for the banks who can't sell these hotels. And these hotels are just money pits. Owning these hotels is worse than owning a yacht. At least a yacht, you can have fun. These hotels, you're throwing millions of dollars every year just for the maintenance and the HOA, the property tax, but then you get like no customers renting the rooms. It sucks. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later. Let's see what happens to the hotel industry in the Bay Area. It's getting worse. And it's probably not getting better anytime soon, but I hope it does.